All right, so I'm gonna start this one.
Go
So
for it.
Mother Gothel versus Frollo. I think she's really, I would say she's one of the most dangerous Disney villains that they've ever created, just due to how cunning and how goal driven that she is, and how, willing she is for, any amount of time to get what she truly desires. I feel like she totally played the long game due to her not being able to die due to the flower and her like lust for that eternal beauty and youth, and really get close to Frollo due to him loving like beautiful women and desire and lust for them, and really take him out from the inside. And obviously, we see her, and she's very volatile with different weaponry. I feel like it'd be really easy for her to get in there and pretty much easily kill him. Not only that, she also preys on ignorance, and Frollo has so much of it that it won't be hard to really get into his mind and play into it, and take him out that way as well. So internally and externally, he has two forces that could pretty much take him over. And she doesn't rely on magic to do and like stuff like that. She relies on the manipulation and the desires of other people to get what she wants, which puts them essentially in her pocket. So they are owing that to her. So she's always ahead of them and always in the lead.
One cut of Rapunzel's hair and she's done. I rest my case. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like Frollo would. I feel
But
like
she always
Frollo.
has that flower though. Like it
What?
never like gets destroyed, so it wouldn't really do anything.
Hmm.
Mm.
I feel like Frollo would do things that he thinks is right, and like if there's something wrong, like he's just gonna try his best to like get rid of whatever it is. So like that kind of. Mm, I don't know how to say it, but like he wouldn't with Mother Gothel, he might want to, and then just like banish, not banish, but like get rid of her,
Yeah,
because of
but the only reason that Esmeralda died or was, marked for death was because she said no. If Mother Gothel was like, "Yeah, I'll do it," and she went with Frollo, she's already in a place where he feels so secure and so safe. Do you know how easy that would be for her to off him? You're basically making a point where she joins Frollo. I'm gonna be in that position where I can easily take him out before he realizes it. So she's always ahead of him with whatever he does.
interesting.
She is the master manipulator of Disney villains. I will die on that hill.
If I'm being honest, I have nothing else to say because, well, no, you know what? I won't say why, but
You sure?
yeah,
I mean, I have stuff that I could say for Frollo, but I'm gonna leave that to Armida and Jared. What are you guys thinking?
I have mine. Do you have yours?
Um, I just changed mine at the last minute actually, because I think Frollo, Frollo, I think is another Disney villain that I think I'm just genuinely terrified of. Like, I just can't.
I think that's why Gothel is so good at what she is,
Yeah.
because she's seen as such a nice person, and, so personable that in reality she doesn't care. She
Yeah.
is pure evil.
I think Frollo is also more. Frollo has a weakness for what he considers sin.
Mm-hmm.
hmm.
And
I don't think she fits any of that, honestly.
I think, but I think she would win just because he has such a weakness for what he considers to be sin.
Which is like a lot of
A
very
lot. Like,
Yeah.
he's
nitpicky things.
so easily brought to his knees.
By the
And
church, yeah.
yeah. So I think that on that alone, I think he would drive himself mad enough to lead to his own downfall.
What she does in the film anyway.
Yeah.
he is the reason why he loses.
Like with Esmeralda being his target, it was a little bit different, but with Mother Gothel and her knowing that is exactly what she wants from him, I think she would win. Which is weird for me to say because I really am terrified of Frollo, but I'm not terrified of Mother Gothel. But again, that's
why it's so good.
That's why it's so good. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Jared?
I'm playing Gothel.
I'm kind of torn on the fact of I think Mother Gothel has such a failsafe because I do think it's pretty easy to kill her, but I don't think Frollo's going to be the one to kill her.
Oh.
I think that's the whole issue right there.
Mm.
Is that he won't do it.
So I'm gonna give it to Mother Gothel too, but I'm not happy about it.
The Instagram poll also said Mother Gothel against Frollo.
Wow.
He's such a religious character that I don't know why I chose him, but like I didn't want to
He's
necessarily.
terrifying.
No, he is scary. Genuinely,
Yeah.
I think if you put him up against like another Disney villain, like I feel like if it was like the Queen or
Yeah.
maybe what's his face? I think he could beat out Hans pretty easily. I think he could beat out Gaston pretty easily. There's some characters that he could easily take out, but I don't think Mother Gothel is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, up next we got
Excited for this one.
Hans from Frozen and Syndrome from The Incredibles.
I'm just gonna sit back and listen to Armita's reasoning for why Hans would win.
Hans syndrome.
Please never say that again.
Hans syndrome.
Don't do. Oh my god.
Hans syndrome.
Can I leave?
No. This is your podcast.
This is my podcast. This is our podcast. What do you mean?
I just want to to that, Jared. I will rebuttal with that. Whenever a decision has to be made, it's up to you, babe.
I know.
So I run this. I'm kidding. We all run this podcast. Okay, so my reasoning for Hans. Hans is very good at thinking on his feet when things don't go exactly according to plan. He arrived to Arendelle specifically to win Elsa over. And when he realized that wasn't working out, he just switched to Anna and he got further and further along in his plan. He just completely changed exactly what he wanted to do to fit Anna into his agenda the second that he realized, oh wait, this is the one I can actually get. And so he'll be able to handle all the curveballs that Syndrome can throw at him. Syndrome, I feel like, is someone who's a little bit more calculated and does play the long game. So despite all of the tricks that he has up his sleeve, I think Hans is very quick to adapt to whatever Syndrome will throw at him. He could also probably easily manipulate his brothers into joining his army. So he would have the entirety of the Southern Isles to back him up. And he really wouldn't Syndrome could stand there and monologue at Hans for the reasons why he's about to hurt him, and Hans honestly wouldn't care. I don't think Hans really doesn't care about why Syndrome feels the way that he does. He would just one swipe and be done in the middle of his monologue. He'd be like, shut up.
So would anyone.
Yeah.
I think the resources that Syndrome has and the smarts that Syndrome has would be a very quick death for Hans. I think the reason Syndrome played the long game is because it was Mr. Incredible and there was a deep, vengeful vendetta there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if it was Hans, I feel like it would be drop the robot on the Southern Isles and let's party.
But I feel like Syndrome, if Syndrome is fighting Hans, I feel like he'd have a reason to.
I also think Syndrome doesn't need a reason to fight because I think he has a lot of resentment overall in his life, not just towards Mr. Incredible. preface this with Mr. Incredible not knowing anything about Helen and the kids on the plane. And he's like, I promise to you, I don't know anything about this. And Syndrome blows it up anyways,
Yeah.
just to be safe. And it's not because, in my head, it's not because he thinks it's something for him, for Mr. Incredible, but just because he's like, I don't care. I'm gonna make sure.
The amount of resources that Syndrome has is insane. Like he's able to well, first of all, he has an entire island. He has, nukes and missiles, but he also is able to like use like the people around him in his life to infiltrate the people that he wants to off and put into his own game, which is actually really cool. I actually really dig that about him.
Mirage cosplaying as Elsa in the movie Frozen.
Oh my God.
I don't really have much of
I don't
anything
have much else either.
Okay. Troy, why don't you start us off? What are you thinking?
I'm gonna go with Syndrome. Intellectually, I feel like he's a lot more advanced than Hans is, and all the technology that he's created.
I was also gonna go Syndrome. Yeah.
What did I really want to know what Instagram said? They probably said Syndrome, right?
No, they said Hans.
Ooh,
Yeah, they
whoa.
chose Hans over Syndrome. It was 17-14.
Wow.
Did you say what was going on? Because I feel like it was just blank polls.
I did at the beginning of the poll, but then after like I really got into it, I just put the poll, and then people could vote on who they thought would win. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Wow, you had some good points though against Hans, like or for Hans. There was a point where I was like, I could see him taking out Syndrome because yes, he's a naive.
Yeah.
He's too focused on the past. Like if you're so like far into the past, you can't move on and really like grow into the future. So like if he manipulates that, then you're pretty much taking him over completely, which is
get into monologue.
That's pretty good.
See, I would also say Hans would win if it was like no resources for either of them.
Yeah.
If it was like, here's a weapon, Hans is gonna win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's skilled with like a knife, or not knife, a sword.
Like if you gave him a sword.
I mean, to be honest,
yeah.
he also has an entire army.
He does.
So
he doesn't
there is
though, because he's
that.
the 14th in line.
But he's part of the royal family, though. That's the thing. He
Yeah.
is part of the family that is the Southern Isles.
Manipulated brothers.
Yeah.
That this helps, but he did have Arendelle for a quick second.
He did.
That is, yeah, he did. All right. Up next is Sid versus the human, or Bambi's killer. Bambi's mom's
Bambi's
killer.
hunter.
Yeah.
God. I'm
Who's
gonna
got
go
Sid?
real quick
Who's got
because
Sid?
I'm listening.
It's
I
Troy
promise.
and Jared.
I have a sentence to say, and then Troy can take it away.
Oh no, I already know I'm not gonna win with this one sentence.
Bang bang, you're dead.
Oh,
That is horrible.
You said bang, you're dead. Is that what you said?
Bang bang, you're dead. That's it.
I'm too stunned to speak right now.
Look it up.
I
It's a play.
I was not expecting.
And a movie adaptation.
That.
And my high school has a
One in the
daytime Emmy
chamber.
because of it.
So I think I'm
Ooh.
done for.
I don't think you can walk that one off.
No, I cannot. He literally said, "I have a gun," and that's it. It has.
What did Instagram say?
It has fireworks, a
What
magnifying glass, and
What
Did
did
Instagram
say
No,
Sid?
they said Sid. What?
how much?
20. No, it gets
20.
better. 22-9.
Did you put human or did you put Bambi's hunter?
I put Bambi's hunter.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Troy. So why don't you continue?
Keep
I
going.
was-
He,
I will
I like
also-
this magnifying glass. Is it
Yeah,
mystical?
he-
Like, what are we working with
he
here?
does torment the toys, so I feel like that could easily translate to a human.
I feel like maybe Sid as an adult would be more dangerous than a random southerner.
I'm gonna text you something because I can't say this on the podcast, but I feel like when I send you it, you're gonna totally agree. Okay.
Just say it.
So
Just say it. Just bleep it.
Should
That's
I
too
bleep
much
it?
work.
Get
That's too much
the
work.
R2 sound.
Yeah, you can-
Columbine. I'm sorry.
Ends right here. Just that's it.
Thank
Yeah,
you. As always, Jeremy Fantastic Dream.